Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. On this channel we post writing tips, unboxings, book hauls, book reviews and the occasional vlog. And today I have another book review for you and we are continuing my Discworld journey with Going Postal by Terry Pratchett. I cannot remember what number book in the Discworld series this is at this point, but it will be in the header of this video. I've read so many Pratchett's at this point and I am not annoyed at that fact. I will reread them when I finish them. It's inevitable. I'm going to keep reading Pratchett till the day I die. Anyway, this is the continuation of the Discworld series, Going Postal. It is our first book with Moist von Lipwig, who is this character here. He is a con artist and basically, I don't want to say a thief, but technically con artists are thieves. He's caught. Veterinary has a plan for him and it's whether or not he will manage to fulfill Veterinary's wishes, which we all know with Veterinary, if you do not fulfill Veterinary's wishes, you're in for a bad time. We also meet Dearheart, fantastic character. She runs the Golem Trust. We get to know way more about golems and they're just great. But as always, with my book reviews, I'll read you guys the blurb first. Before we get into that, don't forget if you like what you see to subscribe to this channel. Your continued support means a lot, so thank you guys so much. If you would like to see my Discworld journey in book reviews, I'll pop a link above to my Discworld playlist. I did start filming reviews partway through my journey with this, so when I get to the end and I restart reading them, I may read from the start again to fill in those bits for you guys. Let me know if that's something you would like. Blurb time. Moist von Lipwig is a con artist and a fraud and a man faced with a life choice: be hanged or put Ankh Morpork's ailing postal service back on its feet. It's a tough decision, but he's got to see that the mail gets through. Come rain, hail, sleet, dogs, the post office workers' friendly and benevolent society, the evil chairman of the Grand Trunk, Semaphore Company, and a midnight killer. Getting a date with Adora Belle Dearheart would be nice too. And then we have a review from the Times. Pratchett's joy in his creations, in jokes, puns, the idea of letters and language itself makes Going Postal one of the best expressions of his unstoppable flow of comic invention. Oh, I love this. I do have this in hardback as well. If you're not new to my Discworld series, me and Matt are collecting the Discworld first editions in hardback, a continuation of Matt's grandma's collection. That's what she was doing before she passed away, so we thought we'd continue on that tradition, but I read it in its paperback form. I love Discworld. I love Pratchett. Why can't that be? I want there to be even more books. Anyway, as always with my book reviews, we'll go into my quotes first. I will warn you of spoilers and then we'll get into my overall review. With Pratchett as well, if you are new here, I pre-warn, I struggle to stop myself taking quotes from these books. They are just so funny. I can't stop myself. So you will see more quotes in these videos than you necessarily do in the other reviews on my channel. I'm going to need a drink for that to start this one. Page 108. Watcher's got loads of dwarfs and trolls, a golem, a free golem, saving your presence, Mr. Bump, and a couple of gnomes and a zombie, even knobs. Knobs? What's a knobs? Corporal Nobby Knobs, sir. Not met him yet. They say he's got an official shitty saying he's human, and who needs one of those, eh? Fortunately, there's only one of him, so he can't breed. I love Nobby Knobs. I also love Nobby when Nobby is Betty. I have a special place for Betty and Nobby in my heart. Nobby is one of the guards. They are there throughout the whole of the Guards mini-series within the Discworld, and I just love how they have to have a piece of paper to say they are human. Love it. What you'll find with the Discworld Going Postal is you can read it as a standalone. It is the first book out of 3 which have Moist von Lipwig in it. It is also part of the Industrial Revolution mini-series within the Discworld series. The Discworld is a massive series. I am going to do a video on the different ways you can read the Discworld series because it is vast and there are so many options. So I will do a video on that. I'll pop a link above this when that comes out, but I like how you can read many of the Discworld series as standalones. You don't have to have read the others. Pratchett is very good at updating you on anything that's important that you might not have read if you haven't read the previous books. However, if you have read the other books, you will enjoy the little nuggets linking to the other books, such as that one, It's one of the reasons I love reading Discworld. It fills me with joy, all these reoccurring characters, the memories of these characters, of this world. Pratchett! Anyway, page 133. His name is in the code, in the wind, in the rigging, and the shutters. Haven't you ever heard the saying, a man's not dead while his name is still spoken? This is just a moment to say that Pratchett's name is in the coding of the internet. So Pratchett is never dead because his name will technically always be spoken, even if, and I say this lightly because how can we ever forget Pratchett's Discworld books, but if anyone ever does, he is in the internet code, so he will never be forgotten. I wonder if Pratchett knew the extent to which his fans would go to and how much that teeny tiny little quote in Going Postal would have a lasting impact on Pratchett's legacy. Did he know that when he wrote that? I highly doubt it, but Pratchett fans are loyal. Page 141. Money is not a thing. It is not even a process. It is a kind of shared dream. We dream that a small dice of common metal is worth the price of a substantial meal. Once you wake up from that dream, you can swim in a sea of money. Pratchett books, although they are all satire, they are parodies, they are hilarious fantasy worlds. He always has a big moral story and overall look at society and mankind, and money plays a big part in this one. Generally, in most Von Lipwig's books in general, because they go into the Industrial Revolution, it's very money-based, and Pratchett has a lot to say about money and how the social system works. One of Pratchett's most famous quotes is in the Guards series by Captain Vimes of the Watch, and it's to say the idea of if you buy a expensive pair of boots, it will last you a lifetime. If you don't have the money to do that and you buy cheaper boots, you will buy so many more boots and ultimately actually spend more money. The poor are kept poor and the rich can stay rich. And the whole thing of this system is completely in your head because money is not technically worth anything. I mean, even now, it's on a piece of plastic. It is made up, which also makes it dangerous. Page 230. Would you burn a book, said Pelk. An old book, say, battered, almost spineless, found in a box of rubbish. Well, probably not, Moist admitted. Why not? Would the thought make you uncomfortable? Yes, I suppose it would. Books are, well, you just don't do that. This is Pratchett's saying that words have power. Moist goes to the Unseen University Library and the librarian there just talks about the books, and it is like, you just can't burn books. Not related to Pratchett, but this is quite often comes up in apocalyptic films such as The Day After Tomorrow, where they end up in a library and they have to burn books for fuel. But the librarian holds on to certain books, being like, I can't let you get this one. And they're picky about the books that they burn. And it's not taken lightly, but they have to survive. Books are just important. And if you're watching this channel, I think you will agree. Page 255. Moist was not good at early mornings in any case. That was one of the advantages of a life of crime. You didn't have to get up until other people had got the streets aired. I love Pratchett's description, calling the streets aired. We all know what he means. In the mornings, I'm one of those people, the first thing I do is open the windows to air out the house. So the idea that Moist Von Lipwig doesn't go out into the streets until it has been aired by people, as in people have gone out into it, they have walked in it, they have revitalized it, reawoken it. Pratchett is just a genius at showing, not telling, and descriptions and comparisons. Page 394. I mean, you're clearly a self-centered bastard with the moral fibre of a rat, suggested Moist. A rat, thank you. But suddenly you're the darling of the big religions, the saviour of the post office, official snook-cocker to the rich and powerful, heroic horseman, all-round wonderful human being, and of course, you rescued a cat from a burning building. 2 humans too, but everyone knows the cat's the most important bit. Agreed. And Moist Von Lipwig thinks about this when he does it. He knows that saving the cat makes people love you. It's this famous idea in layman's terms of writing of if you want someone to be a villain, kick the dog. Save an animal if you want them to be the hero. So page 394 was my final quote. I do actually have one more quote, but I'm going to save that to the very end. So my overall review of this book. As I said at the beginning, this is the first book with Moise van Lipwijk and Deerhart. I have seen the movie of this, and I am going to do a book versus the movie of this. And I do prefer Deerhart's character in the movie to the book. And my main reasoning for that is she's more involved in the movie. Their relationship is a bit more developed. But also in the film, she is always on the Golem's side, and she runs the Golem's trust. So she should be. In the book, it feels like Pratchett has tried to give her a character arc, but the arc doesn't work for me because she's in the Golem's trust, so her arc shouldn't be learning more and being better with the Golems. She should already be that. So I did prefer her in the movie. Also, she acts very different in the second time we see her in the book, and we don't see how that difference develops. Themes in this book, I believe it goes into slavery with the Golems and their poor working conditions. Racism also represented with the Golems. Money, as I've already said in my quote, is a massive theme to this book. And also wealth and the top percentage of society. I think this goes into the unfairness of it. The way that whatever is done to the rich affects the poor, which I won't tell you too much about, but that is Moise's character arc, is learning that although he attacks the rich, it's the poor who suffer. I love the representation of Stanley's moments, as they are called, when he just loses it. I sort of thought they might have been a bit representative of an autistic meltdown to an extent, but I really love that. It feels like a cozy novel before the cozy genre was made. It is also a bit of a murder mystery. It is a cozy novel in cleaning up the post office, whereas we have like Legends and Lattes, which are super cozy about creating a cafe. This is cozy about recreating the post office. It is the typical Pratchett Discworld satire, parody, hilarity. I adored it, of course. Overall, enjoyment 10, writing style 10, plot 10, world building 10, characterization 10, representation 7. Sometimes this happens with Pratchett. And originality 10. I gave this 4.5 stars out of 5. Okay, I am getting a little bit stricter because honestly, in my heart, all Pratchetts to some extent are 5 stars. But I have to have my favourites, and this isn't quite one of them. But it's a 4.5 star read. I'll read it again. I loved it. Didn't give me, I've got a special place for Granny Weatherwax. The witches are my thing, guys. They give me the warmth. They fill my heart. They make me cry. So 4.5 stars out of 5 for Going Postal. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed what you see. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If I see since I upload, click that little bell down below. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook and Tumblr. I post my bookish pictures, as well as my writing tips and unboxings on there. I am going to do a book versus the movie of Going Postal. I'll pop a link above on this video for when that comes out. I have quite a lot to discuss in the comparison between this and the movie. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye! The credit bank would open in the morning, and when it did so, bills would be honoured, wages would be paid, the city would be fed. They'd saved the city with gold more easily at that point than any hero could have managed with steel. But in truth, it had not exactly been gold, or even the promise of gold, but more like the fantasy of gold, the fairy dream that the gold is there at the end of the rainbow and will continue to be there forever, provided naturally that you didn't go and look. This is known as finance.